Hi and welcome back to this lesson. So in this lesson we are going to talk about the arithmetic and mathematic operation in pseudocode. The arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the things which you are already aware, and I'm sure that you know how to do it. So we use plus sign, minus sign, of course star sign is for multiplying, and slash is for forward slash is used for division. And you can use that for between the two number variables. It can be integer or float, and the result can be either stored in another variable or you can just print the output. Now we have two other operators also in pseudocodes. One of them is a quotient, which is also integer division. So integer division or quotient is, so for example, if you do a div or quotient of 7 and 2, so that returns the whole number part of this division. So imagine that you are dividing 7 by 2, so that will be 3.5, right? So instead of 3.5, that will just return you the number 3, so it will give you the 3. And the other one is modulo. So modulo returns you the remainder of a division between the two numbers. So again, if we use it over this this example of 7 and 2, so 7 modulo or mod 2, that will return number 1, because 3 times 2 is 6 and 7 minus 6 will be 1. So the remainder of division between 7 and 2 will be 1, and modulo is going to return you that particular number. And of course we have exponentation, which is just raises a number to the power of the other number. So whatever number you put here between this sign, so that is the sign for the exponentation, and you can raise the number with the power of whatever number we have here. So this is for example, if you put 3 here, 3 in the power of 2, it will be 9, right? So that's how you can do a square, or you can raise it to the power of the other numbers. So the ones which are not very familiar is quotient, or we use a DIV as an operator for that, and modulo, which is for returning the remainder of a division, and it is we use mod as the operator. Let's go to the code station and we do some basic tests with modulo and all the other operators, and we take it from there. All right, so in the code station I have declared this. So I have a variable called x, which is holding 5, and I have variable y holding 2, and I have these also. So a is 7 mod 2. So let me print that. So if we do let me print a. Oops, I jumped down, sorry about that. Print a, and I have b here, 7 div 2, and I will print 2 also here. So 7 mod 2, which is the remainder of division of 7 by 2. So if we divide 7 by 2, it will be 3, and the remainder will be 1. So the first number we see here, it should be 1, right? And div, or the quotient, so here b is 7 quotient or div 2. So this is the integer part of this division. So it will be 3.5, which will only return us the number 3. And here I have the c, which is 2 in the power of number 3, and I can print that also. So print c. So 2 in the power of 3 will be 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, it will be 8. So that is printing number 8. So this is how we do the power. This is how we do the quotient, and this is how we do the modulus. You can also use it with this variable. So you can have it, for example, d equal to x mod y, and I print that, print d here, and that will be 1. So 5 modulus modulo 2, the remainder of that division will be 1. Okay. And let's go back to our lesson and we continue from there. All right, so let's continue. So what is the use of the modulo? Why we are studying it? So it does something very perfect, and that is to help us finding even and odd number. It is very important. One of the most important use cases of the modulo is to help us find the even and odd number. So it gives us the remainder of the division, right? So it's perfect for checking that if the number is even or odd. So the key thing is if any number you divide it by 2, if it leaves no remainder, or if the remainder is 0, means it is even, right? So that's the definition of the odd and even numbers. And if the remainder is 1, it means that that number is odd. So for example, if whatever number you mod or modulus by 2, if it is 0, it's even, and if it is 1, it will be odd. So for example, 14, which is an even number, we know that. Modulus 2 will be 0 because 7 times 2 will be 14 and there is no remainder of that division. But 17, for example, here, that will return you 1. The remainder will be 1, so that means that it is a odd number. What are other use cases? So with modulo and quotient or DIV, we can do a couple of examples like this. For example, time calculation. So if you want to convert seconds into minutes and seconds, so we can do it like this. If the question gives us, the total number of the seconds, for extracting the minutes part, you can always use the quotient or DIV function to divide that by 60, and whatever number comes, that will be the number of the minutes, and seconds will be the total number of the second, the modulus with 60. So whatever number is there, that will be the number of the seconds. And also we can use it for extracting the digits from a number. So for example, if we have number 34 and the question is asking you divide this number into tens and also ones. So if you do the quotient of that number by 10, so that will extract the tens. And if you do that with modulus with 10 again, that will give you the ones of that number. Let's test this out inside the code station and see how it really works. All right, so let's write a program. Let me write it down that we are going to create a program that ask the user for number of seconds and display the minutes and seconds. Let me bring this to the next line so we have some more space. So the first thing is I need to ask the user for the total number of seconds. So I will call it total underscore seconds, and I'm going to ask the user for input. Please enter number of seconds, right? And since that is going to be a number, I'm going to convert that into an integer. And now over here I want to create minutes and seconds. So I will create a minutes equal to, so this total seconds. Now if I quotient that or integer division divide that by 60, this will give me the minutes, and seconds is going to be the total seconds mod or modulus of 60. So that is going to give me the number of the seconds, and I'm going to print that, print minutes comma minutes, and I'm going to print also seconds is seconds. Let's try this out. All right, so number of the second, let's go with the example of so we know 60 seconds is going to be 1 minute, so I'm going to put 65 seconds. So 65 seconds should give us 1 minute and 5 seconds. So the program is working fine. It properly says minutes is 1 and second is 5. If I run this again with a bigger number, so for example, if I go for 689 seconds, so that is going to be 11 minutes and 29 seconds, right? So this is perfectly working fine. Now let's go with the other example of extracting numbers, or putting the numbers, a 2-digit number, and we divide that into tens and ones. So let's create that. So I'm going to remark this part, or just delete this part, this whole thing. We call it create a program to ask the user for a 2-digit number, print the tens and ones of that number using mathematical operation, because you can do it also with the string, right? So you can store it as a string, and we can easily, much easier, print the two parts of the string, right? So I'm calling it number equal to I'm going to convert that to the integer input, and I'm going to say please enter a 2-digit number. Okay, let me fix my spelling. Okay, so number is that. Now tens, I create a variable called tens, and I'm going to assign that my number div 10. So it will divide that number, whatever number we are putting, divided by 10, right? So it will be first digit point something, and it only takes that part of the number, the first part of the number. And for ones, I'm going to again divide that number, and I'm going to only get the remainder of that number by 10. So the modulo of the 10 of that number. And I'm going to print tens is equal to whatever tens is, and ones of that number is whatever the ones is. Ones. There we go. Now let's run this. I have a problem with the line number 4. I have not closed one of the parentheses, so the editor properly told me that I've made a mistake. Okay, now please enter a 2-digit number. So let's go with 78, and it says tens is 7 and ones is 8. That's how we use the modulus and quotient. You can do this also in a different way, you know. I will just write it down. So I got the number, right, and I convert that into an integer, right? So I'm going to use the string method, right? So I'm going to do it in this way. I'm going to create a variable called number underscore str, and I'm going to say that is str of the number. So I'm converting that number to string, and I'm going to print, and I will say exactly the same thing. So tens is, so now here for printing the tens, I'm going to put the left side of that string. So I'm going to say number str dot left. How many characters? 1 character from the left. Okay, comma, and ones is gonna be, I'm going again to call the number str, and I ask the right function, and I want to take the 1 character from the right side. So that is going to be the ones, right? Let's do that. Now if I run this, let's go with the number of 38. Now you see that this part, this line, has done the work using the modulo and quotient, and this one is used the string method. So I convert that to the string. So actually I have converted the string, because input by default stores as string. I convert that to the integer. I stored it inside the number. Then again in the number str, I have converted the integer of the number again back again to the string, and I have used the left and right functions for doing this work. So this was so the whole thing was to show you how the quotient and modulo they work, and this was the kind of example that we could use. let's go back to our lessons and we continue from there. All right, so the only part which might be a little bit unfamiliar for you in this all of this arithmetic and mathematical operation is just this quotient and modulo, so which I think now you should have a good understanding of this, how these two functions they work. So modulo will return you the remainder of the division, and quotient will return you the whole number of a division, which that one is but easy. And the main use case of the modulo is to find if the number is even or odd. So you can always find out if you do a mode of 2 of that number. If the remainder is 0, means the number is even. If the remainder is 1, it means that the number is odd. And also these type of the questions, you know, time calculation, converting seconds to minutes and seconds, or extracting this kind of digits, you know, these are the type of the question which you may get in the GCSE exam related to use cases of the quotient and modulo. All right, so that was about this lesson. I will see you in the next lesson.